Hey, it's nice to see you again. I hope you're doing well, despite the foolishness in the world at the moment. I had family visit me not so long ago, pretty recent. And the past month has been good. School's good, at least as good as it can be right now, obviously. I went to the Grand Canyon. I'm a lot more active on my Instagram. You should go follow me there if you haven't. I went to the Grand Canyon. I went to Vegas. It's always fun to go to Vegas, especially if you keep your eye open. I was there for about a week, I think, if I remember correctly. I've gotten more comics and more books too. Right now, I'm reading two, actually. I'm reading Persepolis 2, which is based on a true story by a Persian author. I keep on forgetting her name, but really good book. The first one is really good, and the second one I'm still working my way through it. Notes from Underground by Dostoevsky I've been reading. I read Yesterday I Dreamt I Could and Today I Can by Facundo Cabral. Very fascinating book. You probably can't find them anymore, but they are absolutely incredible. If you find them anywhere, however the hell you find it, buy it. It's really worth reading. He's an Argentinian philosopher. Absolutely incredible what he writes. If you can understand what he says, I have a very good impression of you. I got Absolute Batman 1 recently, like a month or two ago. It's pretty nice. I'm gonna get the second volume soon, whenever spring break comes around. I'm back in running consistency, which I haven't been in like a year, I think. But I started a couple days ago. I still have to go out and run today, but it's been nice. It's been refreshing, I'll say. It's nice to go out and run again and kind of have the wind blow on your face. If you're a runner, you won't get it, but it feels nice. Right, now let's talk about sports. And there's only one sport I watch with a passion. Now, Al Nassr played today. They won 4-2. It was close, despite the fact it was 4-2. It was close. Ronaldo scored 971 goals right now. He scored at the 75th minute. And you know what? At the beginning of the season, I told my dad and my friends, he's going to make it to 1,000 by the time the season ends. Because if you score like 2 goals per game for a season, you're going to reach 100 goals a season. But he was left out for a few games in the AFC Champions League, and those were some lost opportunities for him to score. But say it out loud. 971 goals in a 20-year-long career. He scored more goals after turning 30 than he did before turning 30, which I think is a record. Now they're in a title race with Al Hilal, their rivals. If Al Nassr win, Al Hilal, they win the league. If Al Hilal win, they win the league. And if they tie, Al Nassr still wins the league. Right now, Al Nassr are a game ahead at 82 points, and Al Hilal are a game behind at 77. So next game will decide who wins the league, because Al Nassr have played already one game, and Al Hilal still have 3 more to play. So if they beat Al Nassr, they win the league. And I hope it's the other way around. I hope that Al Nassr wins. I've been watching them for a while, and I watch a lot of the Saudi league. It's a good league. It's really not what a lot of the pundits say, and it's really not what a lot of haters say. The Saudi league is, I will say, a very competitive league, and I don't say that with a bias. I say that because I actually watch it. Like, give me another league in the world where, I mean, you could give me a few, but give me another league in the world where the top 2 teams are still competing to the very last game of the season. The league in Italy wrapped up a few games before it actually ended. The Spanish league, La Liga, Barca are like 12 points ahead, something like that. So Barca are in pretty good form. Madrid is in very bad form. Madrid have internal conflicts and Barca doesn't. So that gives Barca the benefit of the game. Now, I think Barca's going to win the league again, and I think they won it a while ago. They had better chances when Alonso was still in charge. Madrid probably would have won the 4 games they needed to catch up with them. Anyways, that league wrapped up a long time ago. The Bundesliga is the same every year. The French league is the same every year. The Turkish league wrapped up a while ago. Like, there's a 20-point difference between first, third, and fourth place, I think, which I think is insane. The Portuguese league wrapped up a long time ago. There are not many other leagues that are competing to the last game of the season, and this one is. Now, speaking of the Saudi league that I do watch a lot, I watch a lot of other games solely for entertainment purposes. When I watch Al Nassr, I watch them compete for trophies. When I watch other teams play, it's you lose, you win, I don't care. But if I watch Al Hilal, of course, I wish they tie or not get a win, which unfortunately was not the case. I think not yesterday, 2 days ago perhaps, they played Al Khalif, which there's a controversy there, because Al Khalif, they scored first and then Al Hilal scored last. Now, the center back made a big error and passed the ball back to the Al Hilal player, and the Al Hilal player scored. Now, if you could go watch it yourself. If you look up Saudi football, it's the first thing you're going to see. Well, maybe not anymore because Ronaldo scored today. But look up Al Hilal Al Khalif controversy, and it will show you that. And what I find interesting in that play is that the Al Hilal player runs directly behind the center back, not towards him, not towards the ball, like he knew he was going to do. And then, not sure if you follow me on Twitter or not, probably not. I follow a lot of punditry and fans who really analyze the game, and what I discovered was that Al Khalif are now monitoring the situation because that center back had a massive amount of money transferred into his bank account, supposedly, and he's also a Messi fan, so there is some skepticism that he could have purposefully sabotaged the game for Al Hilal to win and to stop Al Nassr from securing the title. Now, I'm not sure if the league has started conducting an investigation there. I believe they should, because if that is true, and if the Al Khaleej center back did that on purpose to stall the league just a bit more so that Al Nassr could crumble or take a wrong step, then that would be on purposefully rigging the league. And because that there's an alleged money transfer to the center back's bank account, then obviously that raises some skepticism, and that is probable cause to start a investigation, and probably would be a point deduction as well. And I think it would be a 2-point deduction, maybe 3. 2 points because they only managed to score 1 valid goal. The other one, again, controversial. Or 3 for cheating and paying the other player, which also is a Messi fan. Some people may not think of that as much, and personally I don't either. But when you realize that Ronaldo hasn't won a club trophy in like 3 years, it's going to be 4, then there's going to be some people who want to stall that. And because of that, which is actually true, there are some Messi fans or some Messi fan players who are willing to stall a lot to have Ronaldo not win a title, which I believe is very fucked up. But if that has any connection, then there should be an investigation. And also, that would then be illegal money because you can't pay the other team to sabotage the game for you to win. I think that's illegal in every country, or at least in the sports world that's illegal. Barca and Madrid, they play a Clásico on Sunday. I think they're cooked, and I've already said it. I think Madrid are cooked. Tchouaméni sent Valverde to the hospital. Vini's a crybaby. Mbappe's getting taunted and forced by the fans out. They're forcing him out, basically. And honestly, I say do it. And I also say bring in Mourinho as well, because I think that Perez wants to bring in Mourinho. And I think that's a good idea. Because Mourinho, you cannot out-ego Mourinho. He's the most arrogant, egoistic manager I've ever seen play the game and manage it. Personally, if Mourinho goes to Madrid, he cleans out the locker room in 6 months. No, 6 days. Because Mourinho's not putting up with Vinicius' bullshit. He's not putting up with Mbappe's bullshit. He's going to sell Tchouaméni for his aggressive attitude. He's going to sell Rudiger for smacking Carreras a couple months back. There's so much wrong in that locker room that Mourinho can fix. And if it is true that they want to bring him in, that's exactly what's going to happen. United are cooking, and I was pissed at first because I was not very happy when they sacked Amorim, because that's my birthday. And Amorim really brought me to United because I already was watching Sporting. I knew who Amorim was. And I was very sad when they got him out, because they got him out for telling the truth. He had a press conference after his last game and said, no, the board has to do their work, I'll do my work, they do theirs, implying that they're not doing their work. Because he wanted Gyökeres. He got Sesko. I think that the board has something to do with the transfers. Luckily, they got Cunha and Mbeumo, but they did not meet Amorim's level or Amorim's transfer expectation, and he told them, do your work. They didn't like him, they fired him. That morning sucked for me. They fired him at 2 a.m. at least here in California. They sacked him. I was pissed. And honestly, I thought that was the end for United, because you bring in a manager who cleans out your locker room. You give him just over a year, and you sack him. You don't even give him 2 transfer windows. Anyways, they're not back yet. Carrick, I don't think, is a full-time manager. I think he's just for the moment. They'll find someone worse to replace him with. And after that happens, they'll just go back to losing. And I really don't wish that they go back to losing, but United have a tendency to sack managers and hire another manager and sack that one and bring someone else in. It's a cycle. And when you constantly change managers, you constantly change the direction of where the club is going. And when you do that, the players don't truly settle in. They're kind of distant in the locker room because they don't want to get too attached to a certain ideology from a specific manager. And if United do that, then they're not going to last in the Champions League much longer. If they do stay with Carrick, then I think they do have a chance to stay in the Champions League for a while. I'm glad they're back in the Champions League right now. I'm a little sad that Casemiro's going soon, but he's been incredible this season. Cunha's been phenomenal this season, and Mbeumo too. Scoring here, there, scoring from all angles, and that banger from Mainu on the weekend when they played Liverpool. It was incredible. Al Nassr have a Champions League final on May 16th, which I think is a Saturday. I think it's at 11 or at 12, I'm not sure, but I'm definitely watching it. I think they have a chance at winning it. People say, oh, but it's a Japanese team, but this, but that. But if you watch the Asian Champions League or the Club World Cup, and if you watch the Asian teams, they defend really well, especially the Japanese teams. In fact, Inter in the Club World Cup struggled against them a lot. They won by a last-minute breakdown, like breaking down their defense last minute, but they struggled a lot. I wish they win it. I think that they have to. They have to for Jesus to keep his job. And they also have to because it's a final. They have to win it. They have better players now. Jesus cleaned the locker room. He sent players on loan or just sold them completely. We got Laporte out, which reportedly spoke badly about the club in public, which was incorrect, so they got rid of him. They brought in Inigo. I'm so glad they brought in Inigo and Kingsley Coleman. They've been absolutely incredible. I think they have what it takes to win it, and I hope they do. It'll make me really happy. And finally, the Champions League. Who the hell predicted that Arsenal would get here? Like, I don't. I didn't not count on Arsenal. I didn't count them out, but I always had a doubt with them because they're bottlers. But Arteta's been building this team for a while. Do I think they'll win it? No. But Arteta's been building this team. He's never had a proper striker. Now he does, and now he's winning. Gyökeres has 21 goals in the Prem. Wow. He's only 5 away from Haaland. Let that sink in. He's only 5 goals away from Haaland. He hasn't been in the best form, but he's scoring important goals. I didn't think they would eliminate Atletico. And honestly, I didn't watch the game. The second leg, at least. but I heard there's controversy in there as well, which I'm not going to speak much of because I don't know much of it. But I thought that with the attack Atletico have, they would play a bit more counter. Because they have Lookman, Alvarez, Sorlos, Griezmann, Molina, what's his name? The son of Simeon is there. They have an attack that they can counter and they'll score a lot of goals. I thought they would use it better, especially in that game against Arsenal. Unfortunately for them, they were knocked out, and I feel pretty bad for Griezmann too. I never liked Atletico, but I feel bad for him. I really do. He deserved to play the final, whether they'd win it or not. What Arsenal went through, that shocks me. On the other side of the champions, I predicted that PSG would go through. I thought Bayern were incredible the first leg, but Luis Enrique suffered by Chelsea, by Botafogo, by park the bus and counter teams, and although that Bayern are typically a halal ball team, that they just go all attacking, Luis Enrique knows how to defend and attack, and it's football at its finest. He played around most of the game, but to defend the lead, but they went through. And now they play Arsenal. PSG play Arsenal, I think, on May 30th in Budapest, which I think is in Turkey? Question mark? I'm not sure. But score prediction for the champions. You play an all-defense versus an all-attack. But this all-defense team crumbles when they play when the stakes are high. Like, they bottled it to City, and City gave them a goal for free. And Arsenal scored first. They bottled it. So when the stakes are high, they tend to lose focus, to lose rhythm. So it's a risk for Arsenal that they could bottle it and just get completely smacked. And if Arsenal do get smacked, it's going to be by like 5 goals. Because if you put the Ballon d'Or winner against Raya, which personally, I've seen Raya's mistakes, and when Raya makes mistakes, they don't look very good. And honestly, Donnarumma's mistakes look horrible too. But I don't think that he locks up Dembele or Kvaratskhelia with those bangers he hits. If Arsenal get whooped, they get whooped by, I say, 3 goals minimum. Minimum 3 goals. Desiree Doué could also just pull a magic performance again and get man of the match for 2 consecutive Champions finals, and then it could be more than just 3-0. But I think that PSG, I don't just think that they're the favorites on paper, but I think that they're going to win it. Not biased, because I don't watch PSG that much, except the highlights every now and then. But they have a team that's a well-oiled machine that scores a lot of goals and is not afraid to attack a defensive team. Because the more you attack, the more you invite. No. The more you defend, the more you invite for the attack. But now, when you attack more than anything, you'll struggle in defense. And Arsenal could exploit that, but I think that with how things are at the moment, I think that PSG takes it. Because, I'm going to be honest, Saka's not getting through Nuno Mendes again. And Hakimi, I think, will be fit by the time the Champions League final comes around. And I don't think that Trossard goes through him. And I think that Dembele, since he's more of a roaming player, like he's sometimes defending, he's sometimes in the midfield, he's sometimes on the wing, he'll just sneak past a center back or a right back or a left back and just score like he did against Liverpool. Because he's always where the center back is not looking. Because the center backs track one player and he runs behind them. And if Arsenal don't mark him, they're gonna get punished. So I think PSG take it. I think they take the Champions League again, which would be a record for them, because the first time they won the Champions League was last year, and this would be 2 years consecutively. And who knows, maybe they win it a third time, but I'm not sure if Luis Enrique will stay there another season. And that's been it. Glad we've been able to catch up now. It's been a while. I'm glad to see you again. And I hope that your week's well. And I hope that you have a really good weekend. And I'll see you in the next one, whenever that is. Bye.